Hello children, welcome back to e-learning classes of P.N.AMERSEY High School. Hope you all are safe. So children, let's begin our chapter number 5 from supplementary reader Golu Grows a Nose. Children, this chapter is not from your honeycomb but it is from the supplementary reader An Alien Handbook. So children, this story is about a baby elephant whose name is Golu and his nose is bulgy. It's like a shoe. But later this nose grew longer as the trunk of other animals. Let's move to the story. Long ago, the elephant had no trunk. He had only a bulgy nose as big as a boot. He could wiggle it from side to side but couldn't pick up things with it. There was a baby elephant called Golu. He too had no trunk but only a bulgy nose as small as a small boot. Golu was full of questions. He asked his tall aunt, the ostrich, "Why don't you ever fly like other birds?" So, children, earlier I told you that the story is about Golu, a baby elephant. This Golu is full of questions. He has so many questions to ask others. Wherever he goes, whomever he meet, he start asking them questions. So one day what happened? One day he met his tall aunt ostrich and he asked her, why don't she fly like other birds? Then he asked his tall uncle the giraffe, what makes your skin so spotty? Children, spotty means the skin on which there are so many spots. You have seen giraffe? Giraffe is having so many dots, spots on his skin. He asked his huge uncle, the hippopotamus, why are your eyes always so red? He asked his hairy uncle, the baboon. Children, do you know baboon is a big monkey with very long hair? Why do melons taste like melons? The ostrich, the giraffe, the hippopotamus and the baboon had no answers to Golu's questions. Golu is a naughty baby, they said. He asks such difficult questions. Children, you all know that Golu is a question baby and he keep on asking questions to all the animals. As he met giraffe, he asked the giraffe, why you have so many spots on your skin? Then he went and met hippopotamus, huge uncle. He asked him, why your eyes are so red? Why I can see your eyes so red? Then the next comes the turn of baboon. He asked baboon, why the melons tastes like melon? See, such so silly questions he is asking them. Why melons taste like melon? Is there any answer to this question, children? All animals are speechless in front of Golu and he keeps on asking them various questions every day. One day, Golu met the myna bird sitting in the middle of a bush and he asked her, what does the crocodile have for dinner? The myna said, go to the banks of the great grassy Limpopo river and find out. Golu went home. He took 100 sugar cans, 50 dozen bananas and 25 melons. Then he said to his family, goodbye. I am going to the great grassy Limpopo river. I'll find out what the crocodile has for dinner. He had never seen a crocodile and did not know what one looked like. Children, one day he got the chance to meet myna bird. He asked her another question, that what does the crocodile have for dinner? Myna bird is quite intelligent, children. She replied, why don't you go to the bank of the river Limpopo and go and you check out yourself and see what does the crocodile have for their dinner. Children, Golu is so curious to know about the crocodile and the dinner he had. He is eagerly ready to go to the river Limpopo and check out itself what is the crocodile. So he goes home and took 100 sugar cans, 50 dozen bananas and 25 melons. He said goodbye to his family and left for the river Limpopo. He met a python and asked him, have you ever seen a crocodile? What does he look like? What does he have for dinner? The python uncoiled himself from the branch of a tree but said nothing. Golu politely helped him to coil around the branch again and said goodbye to him. Golu moved on, eating sugar canes, bananas, and melons. After a few days, he reached the very edge of the great grassy Limpopo River. On the bank of the river, he saw a log of wood. So children, what happened here? As he met Mr. Python, again he asked him the same question about the crocodile, but Python didn't reply. He tried to uncoil himself but could not. So again Golu politely helped him to coil again to the branch of the tree. Golu moved on, eating his sugarcane, bananas and melons, what he has brought with him. After a few days again he reached to the river and saw a log of wood. What is a log of wood? Log of wood is a trunk of a tree. As he felt that it is a log of wood, what it really was really the crocodile who winked at him. Excuse me, said Golu. Have you ever seen a crocodile? The crocodile winked again and lifted half his tail out of the mud. Come here, little one, said the crocodile. Why do you ask such questions? Children, after a few days, when Golu reached to the river, he saw a log of wood which was really a crocodile, and he asked crocodile himself that what does crocodile look like? Crocodile lifted up half of his tail and asked Golu to come near and asked him why is he asking such questions. Golu said, I want to know, come close little one, for I am the crocodile. This was the crocodile only, and he shed crocodile tears to show it was quite true. And here, as Golu disagreed with the crocodile, crocodile started crying. He started shedding tears to show that it was quite true. Golu was afraid, but he sat down on the bank and said, You are the very person I was looking for. Please tell me what you have for dinner. So, students, here we come to know how curious Golu is about asking the questions and getting the answers of them. Have you ever seen human babies also asking so many questions, and sometimes they are so silly questions we don't have any reply also, no answers for such questions. So children, here he asked the crocodile, what does crocodile have for their dinners? Now crocodile is so dangerous animal, you all know that. Golu was afraid, but he sat down near him. He said, come here, little one, I'll whisper the answer to you, said the crocodile. Now see children, what is the meaning of whisper? Whisper means saying something in the ears. Golu put his head down close to the crocodile's snout, and the crocodile caught him by the nose. Asked what happened, children? Golu is caught by the crocodile. I think, said the crocodile, today a baby elephant will be my dinner. Now crocodile is so happy that his dinner has come to him by itself only. Let me go. You are hurting me, Mr. Crocodile, screamed Golu. Now Golu is so innocent, he doesn't know anything about the dinner and the food crocodile had. So he is saying, you are hurting me, let me go, leave me. The python, who had been quietly following Golu, now what? On the way when he met Mr. Python, this Mr. Python is following him, and he came to the bank and said, if you do not pull as hard as you can, the crocodile will drag you into the stream. Now here Golu comes to know that his life was in danger. Golu sat back on his little hunches and pulled and pulled. The crocodile slipped into the water, making it all creamy with great sweeps of his tail. And he also pulled and pulled. Then the python coiled himself round Golu's stomach and said, let's pull harder. Golu dug in all his 4 legs in the mud and pulled. The nose kept on stretching. At each pull, the nose grew longer and it hurt Golu. The nose was now 5 feet long, but it was free at last. And here, did you understand that the python coiled himself around Golu's stomach and helped Golu to pull himself from the crocodile? Both are pulling each other, so the Golu's nose grew longer and it was 5 feet long now. But at last Golu was free. Golu sat down with his nose wrapped up in a big banana leaf and hung it in the great grassy Limpopo river to cool. Now see, as the nose is too long like a trunk, he kept his nose, or whatever we can say trunk, in the river to cool it down. Golu sat there for 2 days waiting for his nose to cool and to shrink. To shrink means to come back in its same position. Have you ever seen the spring, children? When we stretch the spring, it again comes back in the same position when we leave it. So Golu was thinking the same thing. As crocodile left the nose, now it will come back in the same position, but it did not. It remains the same, and at the end of the second day, a fly came and stung Golu on the shoulder. Golu lifted his long nose, means trunk, and with the heat the fly dead. Here Golu comes to know that this trunk is really very useful to him. He can lift up things with his long nose, even he can remove flies from the body. There are advantages of his long nose. Advantage number 1 is he is the python. You couldn't have done it with the small nose. Try and eat a little now. Since 2 days Golu is sitting without any food, Golu put out his trunk and plucked a large bundle of grass. He dusted it against his forelegs and stuffed it into his mouth. Advantage number 2 was he is the python. You couldn't have done it with a small nose. Don't you think the sun is too hot now? Children, as Golu was upset with his long trunk, now he comes to know that he can do many things with the long trunk. He can lift up a big bulk of grass or a bundle of banana, or even he can wash his body with the water using his trunk. As Python said, now Golu also realized this thing. Golu scooped up some mud from the bank and slapped it on his head. Advantage number 3, hissed the python. You couldn't have done it with the small nose. Thank you, Mr. Python, said Golu gratefully. I'll remember all this, and now I'll go back to my family. Children, this is really very interesting story written by Rudyard Kipling. So students, hope you all understood this interesting story well about Golu and his nose. Children, I'll send you the PDF as soon as it is possible, but you also read the story from the textbook so that you can find out the answers of your own. I'll send you the next story through the next video. Till then, stay safe. Thank you and have a nice day.